Yo, what's good? This is Corey, your friendly neighborhood massage technician, coming to you from a touch of liberation. And you guessed it, today is Bodywork Thursdays, where I come on here and I go through my archive of movement practices and pull something out of the bin so that I can see if what benefits me and my body and my life will benefit you and your body and your life, right? So this week's exercise is, or I would say it's coined in my world as prayer hands. Namaste, right? So going through this, I will let y'all know what these exercises is. This one is, it's kind of difficult to define. It's kind of an isometric exercise, but at the same time, it's kind of contractual in a very slight degree, and I'll explain that as I go along. But I will, of course, go through this in the general way that I've been working through these videos, which is the history, and give you the history of how I came across this exercise. 2, give you a demonstration of the exercise. And 3, let you know what the benefits are that I have received for doing this exercise on a daily basis. Okay? So, 1, history. Me coming across this exercise, I've been thinking about this. I was thinking about using this gesture for quite some time, and of course, it's if you look across history and like ethnic groups of all kinds, you'll see that holding the hands in a gesture such as this usually is signified as a sign of peace, a sign of prayer, a sign of calming, or calming down, or keeping things neutral, so to speak. Hands together makes sense. So when I was coming across this gesture and thinking about it within the context of how I like to use exercises, I was wondering if the gesture of peace can have a sense of strength. Could you build strength off of peace? Weird concept, but that's kind of what drove me to think of how to make something more of a peaceful gesture. That's number 1. Number 2, I would say again, like when it comes to my practices as a massage therapist, this hand gesture or strengthening hand gesture has been a very strong piece to me, being able to use my fingers and my hands in the way that I like to use my hands. To explain that, while I was going to school, in massage school, it was generally taught that you keep an aligned posture with your hands when you're doing massage work, such as using your fists and stuff like that. Keep it in line in this way so that when you're applying large amounts of pressure, all of your joints are aligned together, and it's kind of I guess you could say absorbing the energy that you are pressing into by keeping a stacked posture, which I understand. But in my natural way of doing massage, I find that using a palm hand is most comfortable for me, which of course is not a stacked joint way of doing a massage. My wrist is canked at a 90-degree angle, and it has been shown through research that using a posture such as this can cause injury later on down the line, especially if you're not strengthening that part of your body. So knowing that I, as a massage therapist, like or have an affection for using my hand in this way, and knowing that there's research backing up the idea that it's not the best way to maintain longevity for your practice by using this type of method for conducting your massages, I thought that it would be a great idea to strengthen my hands in a way to where I feel comfortable holding my hand in that posture for long periods of time, things of that nature. Like slowly but gradually build up the strength to where it's just a very comfortable position for me, and I won't have to think about it in a way like, oh snap, I'm going to be breaking my body down. So that's another reason why I got into this exercise. So that's it for the history of it. So let me go into the demonstration of how I use this exercise daily. I usually set it up in 5-minute increments, and to start, let's see, what's my time hack here? I'm at 5:30. When I start this exercise, I'm going to go for a whole minute just so you can see how my hands are set up. And just to explain this so that y'all have a context for how I will be, describing some things like throughout this demonstration, let's consider this part of the hand, the heel, like the heel of your foot. This area of the hand, your forehand, such as your forefoot. And of course, fingers are fingers, okay? So, it is 6:05. This is how the exercise starts. I'm pushing both of my hands into each other with a consistent pressure, again, keeping my face as calm as possible, my breath as calm as possible while holding this posture. There are many different ways that you can, I guess, stylize this exercise. If you want, you can put more pressure on the heel of your hand, which would, kind of place it down by your thumbs. You can place more pressure on the forehand or press into your fingers if you want to use exercise in that way. Depending on how you sway your hands, like if you pull up on your heel or forward out on your heel, kind of addresses different areas of your upper portion of your body. Like if I was pushing out, like I'm pushing out towards you, kind of addresses more of my chest. Pushing in more towards me kind of goes more towards my arms and my biceps. So again, there's a lot of variation that can come out of this exercise, and it kind of comes through the discovery of just holding your hands there and playing around with it with both sides of your body. See, past a minute. Oh, that is the exercise of prayer hands. Okay. Benefits that I have received from this exercise, I feel, are very, very massive. Right. First, I will say, definitely, when it comes to hand dexterity, it has increased a great fold. Like in me typing or me writing, me doing massage, like I have a very, very comfortable sense to my hands that just allows me to maneuver my fingers very comfortably and without really paying much attention to where my hands are. That's number 2, actually. Not having to put much emphasis on where my hands are in space has increased a great deal. Like again, like with the typing, I can type without looking at my hands. I can do massage without looking at my hands at all. Just because, like, I guess the sensitivity that was built up from me holding my hands in this way, it's kind of added to my peripheral sense, which goes into number 3. My proprioception within my fingers has increased a great deal. Again, like just knowing where angles are and being very precise with where my hands are moving is very cool in how it has built up by using this exercise. What else? I haven't gotten to the point where I can do handstands, but I thought that handstands would be something that would be increased with me doing this exercise, and it has. My balance on my hands has definitely increased, but I still haven't gotten to the point where I can hold a whole handstand comfortably for as long as I want to hold one. And also, let me throw out the other part, because this is more something that I just added to this exercise, and due to the fact it's more the contradiction of the exercise, which is I do go in this posture in the beginning for 5 minutes, but I've also switched up to do this posture for another 5 minutes as well. And that's, of course, just to kind of counterbalance to make sure that you're not just overextending your arms in just one way. So to get both sides is very important so that you create a sense of balance when you're doing your exercises. So that's it for this episode of Bodywork Thursdays. Stay tuned, and I will keep blessing you with exercises and practices that I have used in my daily life to improve my life, with the hopes that by me explaining what I do, it can benefit you. So with that, this is Corey, your friendly neighborhood massage technician, coming to you from a touch of liberation. And be well.